We had a what if session last weekend, which turned out super fun. I'm sorry you missed it, but everybody was rewarded after they participated in Jesus's dream. Where they fought and got overrun by crabs. Oh, Oh no, it should be these ones, right? I have all of the pictures, all of the cameras covered up with fucking pictures of Popo, and I can't find... Oh no. Bjorn, thank you so much for the resub, my brother. I hope you're doing well. I may have screwed up the cameras, but I don't know what I did. Out. Okay, that's the last one. And then where's the camera? That one's supposed to be Foundry. Okay. Just got home from a little festival and now I'm having pizza. That's awesome. We are about to start a session, but my camera setup here appears to not be working. And I don't know why. Oh, it's because we switched the server. Lexi, are you getting on cams?
Yeah, my Discord has been weird today. I'm trying to get it to work.
Yeah, no worries. I don't know what half of the things do here anymore.
I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect.
Sounds good. Gilcam, is that... Oh, that should be at the table. Okay. Haha. You switch the Discord one time, shit goes crazy. It is a beautiful thing to see two games going in this server at one time. I gotta take a picture of this. There we go. Welcome. Classic OBS moment, I'd usually say. It is. It is wholeheartedly OBS's fault. Welcome everybody back to the cleaning crew, expedition crew. Oh, I didn't even switch the name on fucking Twitch. I'm scuffed. I gotta fix that. Yeah, we did a what if session last week. This week we are back to the story. I'm not gonna ask anybody to do recap because fucking it was quite a while back when we had our last session. It is not Tiny Punk. It's Cleaning Crew Season 2. Episode 3. So, first things first, I'm going to give everybody another 10 points on their points cards for tonight. Make sure if you expended inspiration at all that you have an inspiration. Does anybody want to roll trinkets at all? Or charms, I should say. Roll for charms. I'll take the silence as a no. Okay. When we last left off, the crew headed west into the Crystal Cave, which was aglow with a strange magic. You immediately came across denizens of the cave, which appeared to be frog-like humanoids and giant crabs. And the frogs are speaking a strange language, mostly made of croaks. And you notice that they were protecting a cave full of tadpole eggs. Nerissa was able to put out messages of friendly intent, which gave the team a peaceful passage through the network of winding tunnels. You came across a healing crystal and some more denizens of the cave. And also, upon further exploration, found several paths that were flooded with water. Nerissa's tank is a light source due to, the crystals that she's been picking off of the walls and putting at the bottom of her tank. Coming back to the healing crystal, Brunk got into a dance-off with a giant crab and was so impressive that he made friends with it and became an immediate celebrity among the cave folk. You learned that the frog folk had poisonous skin after touching them. Nerissa did some sneaky swimming investigation to check out the corridors where they saw more cave folk guarding some kind of chests. Erryn learned a powerful magical orb that was powering the healing crystal is inside the healing crystal at the bottom. And deciding against getting into any trouble with the cave folk, the crew decided to explore the other side of the cave, finding a mysterious sinkhole that gave off super bad vibes and a separate sunken channel. And swimming into that sunken channel, you found more cave folk with a different kind of egg that they were guarding, and also finding a mountain of gold with a giant mimic, guarding it. You managed to get a bunch of gold and gems and some magic items after killing the giant mimic. And going back, your friends decided to bring you to their leader, Anthos, a giant humanoid crab with giant claws. And also saw a red dragonborn shackled and muzzled with crystal restraints and trapped in a giant crystal. Anthos gave you more information about the healing crystal and the orb, which he called the Dawn Pearl, which was created by an ancient sea goddess named Erryn. The Dragonborn, he names as Lothraxis, though the only detail that's revealed about Lothraxis is that he's quite dangerous. And you are advised of a divine dungeon that is protected by spore sharks, which is what they use as a holy site, and the dungeon's name is Mosfin. You were advised of the giant hands in the northern ocean, where more wood could be found. You were provided with a bucket of poisonous grung slime that can be used as an adhesive. You were advised of a girl with black and white hair and a dwarf. And the session ended with an overnight dance party in the cavern. I think I got everything.
So much happened.
A lot happened. A lot happened. It was an action-packed session when we were last all at the table. You would have been given sleeping accommodations. Does Brunk sleep, or does he just like dance the whole night?
He'd sleep. Eventually.
Eventually. Yeah, they give you like as cushy a sleeping arrangement as they possibly can. Obviously it's like a lot of crystal and hard ground, but they managed to like you'll watch like as a couple of crabs like use their pincers to like dig soft spots into the sand so that it's like bed soft for you to sleep on. You get a great rest. They don't wake you up. They just let you wake up naturally. When you do, everybody seems to be rest pretty well, except for Jesus, who like tosses and turns all night and like is like kind of like ranting in his sleep. When you all wake up from your rest, you wake up with like a little like kind of like crab claw like badge sewn or like kind of like just like pinned onto your shirt, or like what a piece of your outfit. If you don't wear clothes, they just like find a place that is visible for you, maybe put it in your hair. And you feel like a little bit stronger with this weird pin. Anthos will look and say, "My children made you a gift." Ellie, you're muted.
Thank you so much. That's so kind of them. I'm gonna like take my pin like out of my hair and just like tuck it into like the decor in my tank.
He looks and he says, we the crabs can get you back to the entrance quickly. Again, if you require any assistance whatsoever, please do not hesitate to return. Jesus, you are of a draconic bloodline, right? That's your sorcerer subclass?
Yeah, that's my subclass.
You get a quick flash of not a red dragonborn, but a red dragon. That, like, steam comes from its mouth, and you hear the words, "Free me." And otherwise, that like Jesus hears something, nobody else hears that. And Anthos just kind of like starts to usher you on your way.
Am I able to pilfer any more glowing crystals without anyone noticing as we're on our way out?
I think so. There's like an abundance of them. Just like yeah.
Be slowly
like
filling up my.
The only thing that's really giving it away is that you're like glowing like crazy, but like it doesn't seem like the crabs care very much.
Okay. Okay.
They like kind of like basically let you ride them back to the entrance, and they like zip you back to the entrance. Again, you hear Anthos ring out, "Please let me know if you need anything at all." And you are back outside on the beach. It is overcast, like it looks like it's about to rain. You can smell it on the air, but it's not quite happening yet. The barrier itself gives off a lot of light, even as like the sky itself darkens, so you can still see pretty well. And it's up to you what you guys are looking at doing next.
So, I mean, out of game, out of character, I think we have a bunch of stuff that we can drop off for our supply and demand quest. We have adhesive material and we have precious stones. We don't, I think the wood and the fibrous materials are up north, or one of them's in the forest and one of them's up north. I can't remember. But I don't know if we want to carry around like a bucket of goo, so it might be worth it to just drop everything off and then make the trek, even though it is in the opposite direction.
I was thinking it makes sense to go check in with Barnabas as well and like drop off the stuff so he can like keep working on the ship while we gather more materials.
Yeah, so it says to the west, there's fibrous materials in the jungle. So I don't know if we want to go. And okay, it said to the west, DM, but like, do you mean on this little island or?
No, if you zoom out, like, can you see the whole map?
Yes.
So if you zoom out to the west, you can see there's a couple of things. Like there's a lighthouse, which you can visibly see. Like if you look close enough, you can see the peak of the lighthouse over the barrier.
This?
Yeah.
Is this not us? Where are we?
You are down here at the cave of Anthos.
You know what? It was covered by the game paused thing.
Ah.
So I was looking at this like, oh, okay, like that's where. Okay, no. That's okay. That's my bad. Okay, so that makes sense then to go to him and then go to the jungle and then go north and then come back around.
Yeah, you can see up north there's like those hands sticking out of the water.
Yeah, and I think that's where the woody. Hold on, where did I write it? I wrote in the notes. Oh yeah, on the north side of the continent, there's a dense set of trees. So, okay. I don't know if you guys are okay with that. Checking in or dropping stuff off and then going get the fibrous materials and then going to get the woody materials.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, it is a long trek, but it is a fairly peaceful trek. Nothing jumps out at you as you head back to the shore to bring stuff back to Barnabas. When you do get there, you don't see him at first. Did you guys have your slimes with you, or would you have left the slimes with Barnabas?
I think we had left them.
You left them. You see that the slimes are gathered around the fire. Like, ignore what's happening here. As you're like coming back up across the beach, you see that the slimes are kind of nestled up on the fire that has been made, and you see that Barnabas, you're not sure where he is at first, until you hear like the thrashing of like something like it sounds like a scuffle, and you see the back half of Barnabas sticking out of a giant fish that appears to be like trying to eat him.
I'm sorry, where is he? Is he in the water or?
Yeah, so like right where
Okay.
so visually he would be where the shipwreck is, like close to it. Maybe he was like gathering materials. We'll like put him over here as like a visual representation. But you see that there's like he's like just inside the mouth of a giant fish, and his like legs are flailing.
Can I send like a message to the fish being like, Barnabas is friend, not food?
It doesn't stop trying to eat him. I give you a roll an animal handling.
Okay.
Twelve's not bad. You push this message of "that's not food" into its head, and at first it doesn't seem to listen, but it kind of like gestures to you, like kind of like acknowledging that it's heard you, and spits Barnabas out. And you see that he's just like covered in like a slime and just like, oh no. The fish kind of gives you a nod and kind of like dips back into the water and swims off. And he looks and he's like, "Oh, you saved me, lass."
No problem. Can I like wheel over to him and like try and like help him up?
Yeah. He'll accept your help and just kind of like climb up onto the side of the tank and be like, "I was just looking for me pantaloons. And I don't know if I just wiggled some way, but that fish tried to eat me."
Do we know what kind of fish it was? Like, were we able to tell?
It was like picture like a rainbow scaled fish, but like 3 times the size of a normal fish, like enough to be able to swallow a person. Like a whale size, but just fish. Like it still looks like a fish.
So it's not like a special fish at all? Like, was it like a magical fish or was it just like a normal fish?
You're not sure.
Okay. Okay.
Roll an Arcana check. Its scales were magical. Like, they looked magical.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
That glimmer, there had to be some magic to how beautiful it was to the eye. Barnabas looks and he's like, "Oh, well, I don't think I'm going to be eating fish for a while."
Yeah, no, they kind of flipped the food chain on you there, didn't they?
He like kind of like gets you to guide him back over to the fire and like kind of like lays close to it. So he's like, "I'm just trying to dry off. I feel very wet, in a way that somebody should not feel wet."
Did he manage to find his pantaloons? Or is he pantaloonless?
They're inside the fish.
Okay.
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a bunch of taffy and puts it onto a little like twig that he finds and starts like kind of like fucking caramelizing it over the fire. As it gets like just melty enough, you watch as he just like eats it all in like one swoop. He's just like, "Oh, that's the stuff."
I'm just like watching him with my mind blown at this new way to enjoy saltwater taffy.
He's like, "The trick is, you can't let it melt. If it starts to get too gooey, you lose it all off the stick."
That would be terrible.
Oh, it's awful. It's a waste of taffy.
I pull out my soggy saltwater taffy, and it is much too soggy to get onto a stick in the first place. I just like sheepishly put it back in the tank.
He like loads up a fresh batch for you and fucking does like the full like the perfect cook on it and hands it to you. It's like you give it a wave, let it cool a little bit, and then take a bite.
I like, and I eat it.
You go to bite and it's just like
Oh
the crunch on the outside from the sugar hardening again. Like almost like cracks your fucking teeth.
Oh, really good.
He's like, I've been doing it since I was a boy.
I don't take a second bite.
It's like, how was your adventures? You all came back in one piece?
We did. We actually brought some adhesive materials, and we brought you some precious stones.
It's like adhesive materials.
And
Yeah.
Did you like just hand him the bucket?
I would let him know that it's like corrosive frog vomit or crab excretions that will burn him if he touches it. But then it's sticky.
He's like, is it now?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend touching it, but
He
supposedly
reaches his
sticky.
before, as you're saying I wouldn't touch it, he reaches his whole hand inside, goes, free goo, and goes to take like a big like just like glob of it. He's like, yes, this'll do. This'll do for a ship, lass. Yes.
Perfect. Glad we could get that for you. And we all have some precious stones. I don't know how many you'll need.
His eyes get all wide, and he's just like, precious stones. Did I tell you to get precious stones?
Yes, you did.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, we're going to bedazzle the vessel once we've rebuilt it, you see.
Hey, that sounds really beautiful. Maybe we should hold on to these stones for now, and we'll circle back around to the bedazzling after the ship is built.
Yes. Once the vessel is built, she will be decorated as a christening of her new maiden voyage.
Yep, sounds like you have a picture in your head and a plan, and you have a 5-step plan
Yes.
for how you want to achieve your goals.
When
Perfect.
when you go to the tavern and they're drinking coffee in the morning, and you sometimes will see somebody who's got like the kind of like it looks like gems but dragon scales all over the cup.
I can picture it in my head.
Yes. Well, I want to do that to the ship.
Okay, yeah, that sounds really
And then
eye-catching.
fill the lower decks with a pumpkin spice latte.
Also, it sounds like you have a lot of ideas. However, I think maybe we should table that for now and potentially circle back around to it at a later date. But keep thinking about things
Yes.
that...
Yes, I'll
want to do.
put it on my dream board.
Yeah, perfect. Put it on your vision
You
board.
see that he's taken like a plank of wood and like this little like overhang that he's created. He's just kind of like put it up like it's not secure. Like it's going to fall several times. But he's got like a hand-drawn picture of the ship, and it looks like it's like rhinestone bedazzled, like all like I want it to be gleaming.
She thinks, I mean, it's a well-crafted vision board. She will, give him the thumbs up. But yeah, she'll hand him at least um, the sticky stuff, and she's keeping her precious stones.
Okay, okay. Sorry, I will not check off precious stones. They have been found, they not have been provided.
Yeah, she'll keep hers if, but yeah.
He looks and he's like, alright. Were you able to find any source of magic?
Yes, however, we would have had to attack very kind, innocent creatures to get it. So we decided not to do that. But we do have the location of fibrous materials and wood materials, and hopefully along the way we will find another source of magic. But it didn't seem like a good idea to take that source of magic.
He stands up and he like walks to you very straight faced and he's just like, did you now? And he like grabs you by both shoulders and starts shaking you and he's like, do you understand that we're stuck here, lass? It's kill or be killed. What do you mean?
I respect your passion. However, when you are trying to live somewhere, sometimes it is good to have allies, especially people who have been on the island for a long time. So, going with my better judgment, I thought it was better to have friends of these people instead of foes.
Barnabas bursts into a like smoke cloud, like still like it almost looks like it has physical form, but he has like stopped keeping a human shape, and like all of his clothes just drop to the ground as he is now just a cloud with like a giant colorful beard.
Barnabas, can I make a recommendation for you?
I'm nervous, lass. I'm very anxious. What?
Yes, I can. I was going to suggest maybe you take a breather, try to ground yourself. I learned some techniques in diplomacy school about thinking about, 3 things you can see and 2 things you can smell, something you can touch, and that should help ground you. And let's look at the big picture and try to think about all of the facets and not just one. That's something that I think will help you.
Okay, I see Nerissa's glowing tank. I see the fire, and I see
Great job.
I see the wreck of the ship.
Perfect. Great.
I smell burning candy. God damn it, Nerissa! I told you not over the fire for too long. And I smell the salt of the sea.
Perfect. Excellent.
What was the last thing?
Is there anything you can touch? I mean, it might be difficult in your current state, but think about something you can touch, something you can feel. It'll help ground you.
The cloud grows like a cloud arm and like reaches out to pet his to pet Mirabelle. His like little chicken slime. He's like, I can feel Mirabelle. Oh, I can feel Mirabelle. And he like begins to like slowly like reshape into human form, but now he's just like a naked air elemental. He's just like, I feel much better. I do. Okay. Everything is going to be fine.
Everything is going to be fine.
If there's one source of magic, there's got to be more than one source of magic.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we did let them know that if there weren't any more and we were going to be stuck on this island, we could potentially revisit us having theirs, but it would kill them, I think. It's sort of their source of life, and I think it keeps their eggs warm. I'm not really sure. But
Eggs?
not kind to eat?
I mean, you can eat almost any egg.
You know what? That is...
You can't eat these.
You can't eat these.
Okay.
It's important to keep these allies. We spent a lot of time dancing with them to make these allies.
Dancing? Do you have any idea how long I was in the fish for? I thought you died! And I thought I was next! You were
only gone one
dancing!
day, I think.
You were dancing with fishmen?
Oh, good for us. Good thing for us that we were dancing with them, because otherwise you might have had to contend with the giant crab dude.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty cool, but I don't think it would have been a good idea to get into a tussle with that guy.
He bursts back into a cloud. Into a bearded cloud.
But hey, if you want to go do it, you can do it. You know, just don't tell them that you're friends of ours, okay?
Barnabas, don't forget. 3 things you can see, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can touch. You got this.
You know what I can see right now, lass? We're eating saltwater taffy because we don't have any food left. Because our food floated off to sea.
But you love saltwater taffy.
None of us can live off of saltwater taffy. I've tried.
Aren't there any fish out there? We could try fishing.
That might be too
In a
soon.
desperate plea to like calm him down, I'm gonna like grab a handful of like the glowing crystals and be like, "What if I said you could use these for the bedazzling? Would that at least be a consolation?"
He looks down at the crystals and he's like, nay, lass, they look better in your tank. He's like, I'm just gonna go float in my tent for a little bit and ponder my life choices.
Great.
We'll figure
Sounds great.
We'll figure things out.
He floats back into the fucking tent, still in like his like bearded cloud form.
Well, that was productive. Should we set out? We have quite a long walk to the forest in the west. Should we set out today, or do you guys need the break before we go?
I think I'm good to go.
Was it a long enough journey back to camp where like we need another rest after the rest we had with the?
No,
the
it's a few hours journey, but you didn't get into any trouble. You didn't, you didn't get hurt or anything like that. You're still good as far as that goes. Maybe a little bit hungry.
Okay.
Because of all the things the crabs did last night, they didn't feed you guys.
Did we notice any like fruit on the trees on the way? Or no, we were on the beach. We haven't even gotten any trees yet, right?
I think
what about the trees by the barrier here?
you see like sparse trees here and there. It looks like maybe there's some kind of like large fruit at the top of the trees. It looks like they have like a kind of like a dense hide on the outside, but it's not something you recognize.
Could we try to get some of the fruit down and open it in some way? I mean, we could probably use sharpened sticks or something to open the hide. And
The
Could I use
trees.
my mage hand to get it down?
You can use your mage hand to get it down. The trees are tall, but they're not too tall. They're still visible, these plants. Again, you see that they kind of like bunch at the top of the plant. You don't see them like in the lower leaves or anything like that. And you're able to reach out and grab one and pluck it. And when you bring it to your hand, it looks almost like a coconut, like with that same kind of hard shell, except that the shell, it almost looks like they look like dragon eggs, but not quite like dragon eggs. Like dragon eggs if they were made of like a hard leaf that have like browned.
Okay. Is my mage hand strong enough to maybe like crack them open against a rock or something?
I don't think so. I think you would have to like use some force or have somebody use some force.
Okay, so I'll just bring them down to the group and be like, do we want to try and find out what these are? These might be a good snack for before we hit the road.
Does anybody have a knife? Or a sword?
Yeah.
Well, could
What do you think this big stabby thing is?
I knew what it was.
need
I
a-
was giving you the option to say that you had one. It's
There you
something
go.
you learned in diplomacy school. Okay, I cannot wield your sword, so if you wouldn't mind cutting open this fruit.
Oh, no problem there. Yeah, it's real easy here. So you can put it down, and he sets it down on a. Is there like a piece of wood there? I'm assuming.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's definitely
He
lots
sets
of
it
wood you
down,
can use.
and he sets the sword tip down, and he's like, "What you got to do here? The secret to cutting up fruit is you got to create it's like a lever here, and you just put the point down, and then you just chop, and you move it, and you chop."
You go to
and you move
chop,
it.
and you go to chop, and your sword goes clunk into the top of it.
That didn't exactly work out the way I thought it did. Should.
That's not what's supposed to.
Is
I
it
assume
is
it's
it coconut? Is that what I'm cutting up? What am I cutting up?
It looks like kind of like a coconut, but it looks like it's got like almost like dragon scales, as the bark. And when you go to cut into it, like it just like kind of like hits down hard. You could try to like kind of like hit it with some force, but you're gonna need to roll a strength check, like an athletics.
Oh. It's getting a little tough here. Hold on. Ooh.
16's good enough for me. You slam down on it with force, and it almost like as soon as it bites into the skin of this finally, but it's almost like it gives off a spark like metal against metal. You are going to take 7 damage as this thing explodes and like blows you onto your ass.
Ow.
Sorry about that, Brunk. I'll take responsibility for that one.
What the hell are you trying to eat here? You eat that thing, it's going to explode inside you. Or inside your mouth. I'm not cleaning up that.
Now that it's exploded, is there like fruit
Anything left?
inside of it?
You see that there is like a fraction with like a bit of like the inside flesh. And the flesh is almost like green, like almost the same green glow as the barrier. And it is secreting kind of like this like sweet smelling liquid, but the liquid is also almost like a glowing green.
Can I do an Arcana check? I want to see if the barrier has negatively impacted this fruit growing next to it.
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh.
Oops. Nice.
Oh, yeah. 21. Because the trees are growing this close to the barrier, you think that it's probably leeching little bits of magic off of it as it's growing. So these fruits may have started off as a coconut, but as they've leached like magic into the fruit itself, it looks like it has almost turned it into like a little bomb, as it's kind of like it's like magic fermenting with the food.
Good news is there is probably fruit on this island that has not been impacted by magic. Also, good news is we know if we see fruit with that awkward outside, we probably should leave it alone. Other good.
On a 21 Arcana, you think it's probably still edible.
Okay. I will pick it up and eat it. Done.
Yeah, no negative effects. It tastes delicious.
Yummy.
It tastes like if like coconut had like a fruit pairing with it, like almost like a pear. Like it's got like a nice like sweet richness to it, but that nice creaminess of the coconut as well.
Yeah.
It's delicious, and like it like that little bit of like kind of like coconut milk. Like it has like you feel like invigorated, like not, and like you don't like gain hit points or anything like that, but like there's something about it that just like gives you like this like rush of energy.
Okay. So news that is, I'd say, also good. I'm gonna count this as a good one. If we can figure out how to open it without it exploding, it is delicious. You will love it, absolutely. So yeah, that's all really good, very good 3 things that that we came from this. That was a great job, guys. Everybody did a great job.
You
I
look
immediately start like getting more down with my mage hand.
you look over and you see that Barnabas, like the bottom half that it's like bowl shaped, but there's also like a spike at the end of it, is sticking out of like Barnabas in his like naked like but humanoid form, and he is like dipping his finger into the fucking thing and like licking it off his finger like, this is amazing. This is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. And I feel so alive!
Right? So 4 good things. This has been really just absolutely, we're taking this as a win. Good job, everybody. This has been great. But once again, Brunk, sorry about the explosion. I'm sure there's a way we can open it without it being so dramatic.
You could, off of the plants here, these immediate trees in the area that are closest to the barrier, you can probably get 12 ripe, what we're going to call them mana nuts. MANANUTS.
Is there a way that I can try to do like, or if somebody else wants to do like an investigation or something, so we could figure out how to open it without it exploding?
I can take a look at one with in my like magic hand, just like examine it.
Yeah, I just don't know what role that would be.
An investigation would work.
Okay. I am not a brain girl. I don't know if anybody is. I mean, we can all look at one and investigate if you guys want to. I'm not sure, but that is not.
Would that be an intelligence roll?
Yep. Or like on your character sheet, it's an investigation, like in the skills.
Oh, nice.
Holy shit! Okay.
18.
I'm proficient in investigation, so I can give it a whirl.
Erryn rolled an 18. You can give it a shot. Like you're both collaborating here, right?
I'll take a look.
Fucking really nice rolls from everyone. Yeah. So like kind of working together and looking at it, and especially hanging out with the crabs last night, it seems like the magic has, it's like normally you would have like the inner side, like or the inner coconut, and then you have the coconut meat, and then you have the shell. Between the shell and the meat, it appears like that there is like a thickened, almost like it has turned it so hard that it is like a metal. That's why it made the spark when the sword was put through it. So you think like if you could put pressure to it instead to crack it instead of like trying to slice through it, Or if you're trying to slice through it, something that's not metal. You think with enough strength you should be able to like get through it without it exploding. Maybe just don't put it near a flame.
Well, maybe somebody can punch it, or we can get two like heavy things and squish it or something. We can figure it out, but I think there's a way we can all be able to enjoy these mana nuts.
I have a crowbar.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
Did I give you guys a group chest? I don't think I gave you guys a group chest. Hold on a second here. If you guys go to... Hold on. I'm just going to put it... I'm going to put it right in with you. If you go to the PCs folder, I just dragged it in there. You're going to see that there's a chest that everybody has access to. You should be able to put items in there that you want to share. The reason why they are, if you're adding it to your character sheet, whoever's holding on to these mana nuts, if you're adding them to your character sheet, you can add the note that the reason why they're giving you like an energizing feeling or effect is because it's giving you the effect of the haste spell.
When we eat them, it gives us
When you eat them, it'll give you the effect of the haste spell.
Oh. Cool. I put them in the chest, but I can add to it that it gives us okay.
You look over, and after like eating this thing down to the shell, Barnabas is eating what appears to be like super long pickles out of a barrel.
Where did he get those?
That's not taffy, Barnabas. You said we only had taffy.
He kind of like scooches over in front of the barrel and like kind of like tries to hide the like half bit pickle behind his back, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Barnabas.
Erryn.
Come on. You gave me flack about food and you had other food.
But these are very special pickles.
Why?
Because there's only so many left.
And yet you just had mana nut and you're chowing down on them.
That found its way into me, lass. I didn't ask for that.
but
Were you going to
still-
eat it off me corpse?
I'm just saying, if they're limited, why are you eating them now if you've just eaten something?
Because I'm hungry.
If they're your own pickles, I cannot ask you for them. But we are the ones who are trekking through the forest and having to do dangerous
he
things.
goes back to eating the pickle. He's like, this is good survival training for you, lass.
Okay, well, if we find something delicious, I'm not bringing you back any.
He's like, that's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair. Fair is fair.
Yeah?
You're still not getting a pickle.
I don't even eat
Like,
pickles.
fucking
Brenda.
slaps the container back, or the lid back on the container, and he's like, weren't you running off on another one of your side quests?
I think we are. We were just stocking up on some nuts, and we're ready to go.
Well, enjoy your explosive nuts. He's like, I'm not going to try and get near the water again. Unless I am actually trying to fish. You should take the slimes with you. They might be useful, in a tricky situation. And good luck to you.
Good luck to you too. Don't get eaten.
Also, you do not get eaten. Please don't do that.
Do our best. Now, while all of that was happening, I have thieves' tools in my inventory, and that includes things like a small file and like pliers and stuff. Can I be like using those to try and get into one of the mana nuts to like would that be successful at all or no?
I think those are like fairly like small, like very specific tools. I think you'd end up breaking
Okay,
your thieves'
so they
tools
wouldn't-
trying.
Oh, okay, so I don't want to do that then.
Like Brunk.
How
Oh yes, Brunk, please.
many of the mana tools can Brunk find?
The mana nuts.
The mana nuts, yes, mana nuts.
Using the mage hand there off of the trees in the local area, you would have been able to grab 12 altogether.
I'm planning on taking a couple and stashing them in my pack
Yeah.
to take with us.
Hold on, let me drag out.
I want to put a few in my inventory too, just like have them in my tank.
So, Erryn added them to the group chest. Let's edit these also to say highly explosive. And yeah, if you just drag them to your character sheet, make sure you like deduct what you take from the chest.
Tonight's D&D caffeine-fueled D&D game is sponsored by a
G Fuel.
strawberry guava coconut
Oh,
flavored
shit.
in the spirit of our mana nuts.
Nice. That sounds delicious. We had
Unofficially sponsored by G Fuel.
locally made pumpkin ale and Pink Whitney. Which is super delicious on ice.
Pink Whitney.
Pink Whitney, yeah, it's like it's Barstool Sports made a pink lemonade flavored vodka.
Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
Bagel. Okay.
Yeah. I know, weird sentence.
Indeed.
But it's delicious.
I'm gonna be honest. Stool Presidente is not my favorite
No.
person so much, but I have appreciated his defense of my favorite WNBA player lately. So.
I like his pizza reviews.
Oh, okay.
I like food reviews in general. I like anybody's opinion on food.
You can't go wrong with pizza.
It's true.
Can't even go wrong with pizza Hot Pockets.
Oh God, I love a good pizza hot pocket. Yeah, once you guys have divvied up your mana nuts, you're welcome to take your next steps. You said you were going back west. It's a few hours journey if you're just heading off. And when you get past the Crab's Cave, you get to a point on the island where there's barrier and then there's water. So if you look on the Ethereos map, the barrier actually cuts off a section of the island.
Are we able to see where the land is again? Like, is it like how far, can we estimate how far it would be?
Yeah, you can see like a little lip of land about 10 miles away. But there is a big, like just section of, like, deep water in between.
So is it really deep because it's still pretty close to the shore?
Well,
Right?
like, so that portion of the shore is, like, from here to here, you can't really even see it. All you see is green barrier.
I know, but I'm saying even the barrier, like the barrier's not going that deep into the water, so is the water itself super... I mean, but also this is just, it's probably not to scale. So I guess it still could be pretty deep.
Yeah, it's not close. It's not really a shore. Like, it's almost like a rock bank that kind of, like, drops off into the water.
So it's not a beach anyway.
Where you are now is like a kind of like a beach. But as it goes further out, as it goes further out, it's almost like the water just kind of like it goes like down. It's like a deep flow until you hit this next beach up where the tent is.
So these are also beaches?
No, that's it. That's kind of like that. Just like there's land there, like, but it's not like a beach. It's almost like you'd surmise the same thing, that the water kind of like just like drops off from that point.
So is this where
that's the next beach?
10 miles. This is the 10 miles away.
No, that's
much
away. Further.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like 26 miles away.
Okay. Can we see, like, is there a way to get up on this land from the water?
You could try swimming, but that's a far distance to try swimming.
Yeah, I guess I was just thinking, like, if we were in the water, is it like, you know, these huge cliffs that we would have to scale that we couldn't get up on it anyway?
Yeah, because you can't, like, you already know from touching the barrier that you can't, like, grip it. Like, it's like a weird hard light wall. So you wouldn't be able to rely on anything the barrier is touching. You wouldn't be able to rely on for being able to grip on if you're trying to just like kind of like scale your way along. You think you'd have to like take like a long swim across, and you don't know what's in the water aside from like those things that attacked your boat. Or you'd have to find like a vessel to get your way across.
Yeah, I guess what I was saying is like, if we're looking here at this part of the map, let's say we're in the water in a boat or whatever. Like, can we tell if this part of the land where the barrier's not is like close enough to the water that we could get out of the water onto that land? Or is this land, because it's like a drop off, is it like a tall cliff or something that we couldn't access it anyway and that we should just aim for here anyway? Is what I guess I'm trying to
This
figure
little
out.
bit is like you can see that it's probably reachable in a way that you'd be able to use it as like a resting spot.
Okay.
But it looks like the barrier touches enough that it's almost like just like it's a little lip before you'd have to like find a way to this island up here where like you can see like this tent and the lighthouse.
Okay, do you guys have any ideas?
I think maybe the crab people from the cave will help us get across.
Yeah, we can ask them, at least.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. We did make friends for a reason.
I think it would be worth asking them for help, going back to the cave to see if they can help us out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You're close enough that you find your way back into the cave. You get inside, and Anthos's voice echoes through the halls as you enter, and they say, "Oh, hello, friends. You're back very soon."
Hello, Anthos. Yeah, we are in need of help, potentially. I mean, definitely, but we're hoping you can help us.
Okay, what can we do for you?
So, you had mentioned that there is a, uh, like, woods to the west where we can get fibrous material.
Yes.
Well, the barrier is blocking our walking path along the shore. So we were hoping that there are some of you that could help us get across. We would probably need you not only once we got there, but also going to the north, because I think the barrier could potentially be blocking off other parts as well. But just to help us get through the water, if we swim, it will probably take us a long time, and not all of us are that water savvy.
You hear a voice say, "Oh, I didn't think about the barrier." And as he's starting to talk Jesus, the voice becomes an echo for you that like is just kind of in the background, as in the forefront of your mind. Once again, you see this head of a full like red dragon that breathes out this smoke and says, "Free me." Um, and coming back, Anthos's voice kind of comes back in to say, I might be able to help you. You should see something appear in front of you now. And if you look down on the ground, you see like a little box.
Uh, yep, we see a box.
Take that outside.
Okay. She'll take the box outside.
Thank you so much.
Hold on one second
I have a
here.
question.
Yeah.
When Jesus had like the vision or whatever, did anyone notice that he seemed off for a second? Was it like, did he look weird? Like
Roll a perception check.
a perception check?
What is Nerissa distracted by that she doesn't notice Jesus?
Probably something in my tank. Like I'm like playing with like my little slime.
Yeah, your slime's like floating around, you're kind of looping around, and like maybe you catch like a weird movement from Jesus, but that's kind of normal. You've been around him long enough, right?
Okay. So nothing to make me be like, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless
Okay.
Jesus, do you say something?
Guys, I keep having the strange vision, being told to release him.
Release who?
I think the Dragonborn that's locked up.
Do you want to tell Athos that?
Yeah, I don't think we should release him.
Yeah, I'd prefer to keep that between us.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I don't think.
it's your vision. Yeah, she'll take the box outside.
Okay, hold on 1 second here. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you look at this box. It appears to be not like a wooden box, but almost like a pearl, like a pearl shell box, like almost like the same kind of like shell as the crabs, and it has like a little like crab claw insignia on it, and you hear in your mind a word in giant that almost like translates to crab, appear in your mind. He says, "Speak that word."
I think she speaks giant.
Yes, yeah, like he says it with you in mind.
Okay, yeah, she would speak the word to the box.
You speak the word to the box, and it like almost like explodes in a way like it like folds out and expands into like this pearl canoe. Hold on 1 second here.
That is really something else.
Folding canoe.
She
The
asks
we
if she'll go
all
back
fit in it?
inside.
Yeah, it's a boat. It's 10 feet long, 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep. The boat has one pair of oars, an anchor, a mast, and a lateen sail, and it can hold up to 4 medium creatures comfortably.
She would go inside the cave and ask him, like if I say the giant word for small, will it turn tiny again?
He laughs and he says, it absolutely.
You really think of everything. You're a 10 out of 10. Stand up guy. Thank you so much.
Well, for any friends of the great dancer Brunk, we're happy to be of assistance.
Perfect. Well, um, thank you again, and we will try to return it to you all in one piece. I don't know what's in the water, so I don't know if it's going to get attacked or something. I don't want to make any promises I can't keep, but we'll try. We'll try our best.
You just hear a voice say, "Good luck."
All right, and she will say thank you in Giant, and we'll leave.
Excellent. Why don't we take like a quick 5-10 minute break here, and when we come back, we will continue.
Sounds good.